Charlotte Walden, and I had a question. First of all, I love the show. And I also, in West Wing, I've heard that a lot of campaigners that were on the Obama campaign really got inspired by West Wing. They actually, one of the reasons why they were in the campaigns in 2008 is because they were inspired by West Wing. What do you hope or do you think might inspire people, or not, or what do you think Scandal's legacy would be in 5 to 10 years?
That's a really great question. I think it's a couple of things. I mean, in terms of, I don't know if people would be inspired by this behavior, but I think that getting inside shows like The West Wing and in a different way Scandal and in a different way, House of Cards gets the general public engaged and interested in a political conversation. So if that gets people to vote, that's a huge impact, I think. On a deeper level, I think it has more to do, the impact of Scandal has more to do with the nature of Olivia's character and what, frankly, the women in Scandal represent. Olivia and Mellie and Abby and Susan and all of them, even Portia's character, the way that Shonda brings women into the center of the power conversation as something that's just normal and expected, and the way it is and should be might have a bigger impact. That there's no surprise to see a woman calling the shots at the White House, and it seems most likely that will in fact be the case 2 years. So again, it's the same thing I said about in a very different way, with a Will and Grace, that that becomes what people expect in the norm as being something exceptional, so that when old white guys are saying, this must not stand, they become anachronisms. I kind of feel like that may be a big legacy of Scandal and of some sort of the Shonda Rhimes influence on popular culture in general.
I'm Rose. I'm Tony's agent.
You're my agent? I hope you're getting me another job. Tony's angel. I need one of those.
For 5 seasons, you've been exposed to running the country on TV. Has Fitzgerald Grant reshaped Tony Goldwyn's political views, negative or positive?
No. I guess no. I've kind of maybe tried to. I don't know. That's an interesting question. Playing the president has gotten me maybe thought more regularly about politics. Although I was always very interested in politics and tried to be as engaged as I could be. But it certainly has made me appreciate. The job of being the chief executive. I mean, it's an impossible job, as Obama once said. I heard him say, every single decision that gets to my desk is an impossible decision. There's no good answer, there's no right answer, there's no easy answer. It's all the least worst decision to make. And I have a lot of respect for that, whether a Republican's in office or a Democrat's in office. So I've come to appreciate that more and realize that is a job I would never want, even if I had the intellect to embrace it. So that's all. But no, it has not shifted my views, I would say.
I was really impressed with your directing skills.
Oh, thanks.
So I'm an actor, and I just did my first short film.
Congratulations.
And thank you. The film has problems. It's a short. And my actors they were wonderful in the play, and they were a nightmare on the set. I got a really good girl from NYU who carried the film. How do you fix things when you're in trouble as a director? I was thinking...
You mean after you shot the film?
After shot, and I don't have the money I had then, because it was my own money and all that. I produced, wrote.
Are you editing yourself, or do you?
No, I wish I knew how to do that. No, it cost me a lot of money to fix all the bad acting that happened in the old acting. So it's fixed as much as it can be, but now I look at it and I go, I know it can be better. It's based on Marilyn Monroe and her relationship with her makeup artist, Whitey Schneider, who taught her everything. So, and again, it's just a beginning effort, but it just doesn't pop. And I'm thinking, well, maybe if they do an interview with me and I talk about why I chose this, what have you had to fix?
Well, the cutting room is a miraculous place, I must say. There's only two solutions to it, and one requires time and the other requires money. But I mean, both a little bit of money. Is you either can reshoot stuff or work on your cut more, because you can literally. I have created good performances out of atrocious work. Literally, not often, but a couple of times, actors should have paid me. Because it just wasn't happening, or I made a mistake on the set, I didn't see something, or a scene just didn't work the way I thought it was going to work. I thought it seemed good, or oftentimes very good actors are trying to make a scene work that, frankly, I have to own didn't. I thought it was right in the script, it wasn't. So in the cutting room, you can really work miracles. One of the things that can be very, very helpful is to take a little time away from it, and then to show the movie to some objective people, and get a fresh perspective, and then go back in and try and recut it. Because you work on something and you become so inside of it and so invested in what it is, and you think that's it. But a lot of times with some distance and objectivity and some other opinions, you may find that there's a lot more work you can do. So I wouldn't give up on it. And the cutting room, given the editing equipment now, you can do it on a computer. If your editor is someone who is willing to put in a little more time, it might be worth taking a couple months away from it and then showing it to people and getting some fresh perspective. Because you may think it's done, but it might not be.
Thank you, Renee.
And we're going to go to Periscope, but I would say and I know you can get this here at Vidiots, one of the loveliest movies of all time, and I don't know what you have to do, but A Walk on the Moon.
Yeah.
Directed, and it's romantic, for those who don't know, it's very romantic, so really nice. So.
Okay, so there is a question from Periscope. I apologize, they all go by so fast I haven't grabbed the handle of the person. They've been asking, aside from Scandal, what other political-based series would you want to appear on? What other ones do you like? What would you be interested in playing?
Oh my God. Veep would be so much fun. It has to be Veep. But I don't know how I'd fit in. I couldn't be, but if somehow Fitz could work his way in to that universe, it would just be just genius. But I love Veep. I love House of Cards. I was a fan of West Wing, of course. But in terms of the current ones, what other political series are there? Veep and House of Cards right now? No. Yeah, I haven't gotten Madam Secretary yet. I just watched the first couple, so I'm not. I have to bone up on Madam Secretary.
Why don't you do it from the audience, and I'll keep looking at the thing.
Well, yeah. I have a question when you just said that, just quickly.
Go by so
I
damn
might have
fast.
missed something, but did all these political shows, I mean, sort of Washington-based, real-world political shows, did this all start just in this last 15 years? I was sitting here thinking back and thinking,
Yeah, there was West
it was
Wing,
like
really.
doctor shows, lawyer shows,
I'll
police
tell you,
shows.
Renee, there were, I remember in the late 90s, reading a couple of scripts that were sent to me, to play political characters, and we're told, and no one would make them. They were like, no one wants a show about politics, no one cares about Washington, they just don't sell, no one wants political TV shows. And then West Wing, Aaron Sorkin came along, and then of course everybody wanted them, and then there were a lot of ones that didn't work, and then for a while no one wanted them. It goes in cycles like that, but you're right. I can't think of another one before that.